So when it comes to training for sport, what's better? The old school way or the high-tech way? One that's been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years is resistance training. Now the idea behind this is you just pick up heavy things. So in other words, you could get something like an Olympic bar or some dumbbells, slap some discs on the side of them and pick them up in lots of different movements, things like squats or bench press or overhead lifts. Now, a lot of people would maybe think that you would just get stronger by doing that straight away. You know, as soon as you've done that lifting, that's your body getting stronger. That's not necessarily true. What actually happens is when you do resistance training or weight training, you're actually damaging your muscles. But then your body repairs and regrows slightly stronger. So if you can think of it a little bit like a graph, you do your training and your body gets damaged, your muscles get damaged, but then they repair and regrow slightly stronger. Then you would train again and you damage your muscles very slightly, but then they repair and regrow slightly stronger. But for this to happen, you need to have certain things in place. You need to make sure that you've got enough rest in between the sessions to give your body a chance to repair. You need to make sure that you've got the correct nutrition to give your body the material to regrow and regrow slightly stronger. But you also need to make sure that you're continually overloading the body. So something like increasing the weight would do that. And this idea of overload is definitely old school. In fact, it goes right back to the ancient Greeks, to a guy called Milo of Croton. And what he used to do is he would sling a newborn calf over his shoulder and carry it with him every day. And that would be his resistance. But as the newborn calf grew and got heavier, his resistance would then increase. So this idea, that's where his overload came from. And it's definitely a way of overloading the body, but quite a slow one, because it takes time for the calf to grow, and you need to feed it every day, and it might poop on you from time to time. But the theory of overload was definitely there. So now there's new technology being developed to help train your brain, because so much of sport now relies on being able to read and react to your opponents or knowing where your teammates are. So this new 3D technology allows athletes to train and track objects. So let's say an athlete's sitting in front of a screen and they're shown 4 or maybe 5 different virtual spheres. And what they're told is they need to track those spheres. Then there's lots of decoy ones that come in and they all move around on the screen, and the athlete needs to train his brain to try and work on finding the original spheres. So the idea is this replicates in a game, maybe tracking a defense, tracking your opponents, or maybe tracking your own teammates in heavy traffic. So as the athlete gets more practice at this tracking system, they become better at it and they begin to be able to put it into a game situation. Now, some of the ways that the elite teams using this system have managed to improve it and to progress their athletes on is to maybe get them standing and then doing the 3D tracking. Or they've even got them doing sport-specific movements while doing the training system. So they've done things like for an ice hockey player, they've maybe got the ice hockey player using a stick and a puck and doing sport-specific movements while doing the 3D tracking system. Now we can sort of replicate this 3D tracking system. It's very similar to, the old card hustler trick. Where you have to find one card. It's kind of a bit of a high-tech version of that. So let's do a little test just to finish up. Let's see if we can do this. You've got to find the Joker. The Joker's the one right in the middle right now. I don't know if you can see that quite well on camera. There you go. So the Joker's there. You have to track the Joker. It's the one in the middle at the moment. There's no tricks. I'm not a magician. I'm doing this seriously just so you can try this tracking system. So follow the Joker. Again, I'm not a magician, as you can see, because I'm really clumsy with the cards. There was fast hand for you. So where's the Joker? Any ideas? Any ideas? Anybody get it right? You can comment if you did. You might lie though. That's the only thing. Don't lie. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth. So if you managed to find the Joker, congratulations. Your prize is that you get to subscribe to Head Squeeze. Click it. Subscribe.